Hello guys, it's Lego2390 coming to you with more of a rant instead of an actual review. For starters, I like to say that Spider-Man was a part of my childhood growing up. And now that this Spider-Man series is over, we now have to think. Like, which one is actually better? Would it be Ultimate Spider-Man or Marvel's Spider-Man? Now, personally, I like to keep Ultimate Spider-Man because, for starters, Ultimate Spider-Man is one of my favorite shows done by Marvel, including Disney. The thing is, one of the characters, specifically the main character, was voiced by Drake Bell. And if you don't know who Drake Bell is, he was a Nickelodeon star on one of the hit shows known as Drake and Josh. And Drake and Josh was a pinnacle of my childhood. I enjoyed it when it aired, and I even watched this Drake and Josh Go to Hollywood. But enough of that. The real question is, what Spider-Man is actually better? To tell you the truth, they're both good in their own way, but they do have flaws, one way or another. I'm going to start with Ultimate Spider-Man on what it's like. So what Ultimate Spider-Man has is, it does retain enough of the comic accuracy, such as it has enough of the heroes like the Avengers, along with some new recruits, possibly younger, but also Ultimate Spider-Man has a specific design, so to speak. Now, you may recognize that type of design as maybe it's used in other shows, but the design is actually done by Man of Action, who is notorious for creating Ben 10 and Generator Rex, if you follow through later on. And of course, after Ultimate Spider-Man came Big Hero 6, but this is a Spider-Man review. I'm just using that as an example. Now, along with that, there's other voices besides Drake Bell. I'm not really sure who else there be, but I do recall that Stan Lee, the creator of Marvel Comics, has done plenty of episodes on Ultimate Spider-Man. And along with that, I mean, I find Aunt May to be fair because she looks young, but not too young. And you even got other characters. In fact, other characters that do make an appearance. Harry Osborn is there, Mary Jane, you know the thing. But then you even get some special appearances, like maybe, okay, Squirrel Girl did appear, even though she's crappy. But also, Deadpool made an appearance on one episode, and believe me, Deadpool is lovable to my heart. Now, what about other things? I mean, is it a good story? I mean, it's fair for someone who likes enough action-oriented. but also wants to have character development as they watch. Now, I don't know what else to tell you, but Ultimate Spider-Man takes a lot of credit for not only having a diverse cast of characters, but also being another Spider-Man series to introduce multiple variants of Spider-Man. Like, you can already find Spider-Ham, which is the Spider-Man as a pig. There's even Spider-Man 2099. There is... who else is there? Of course, they do show Miles Morales in one episode. But also, I think they might have introduced some new Spider-Man in a way. Like, there was a Spider-Man that was a knight. And there's even Spider-Man Noir. Like, you can actually see more different Spider-Man in that series than any other series. No joke. Ah, man. I just can't stop thinking about Ultimate Spider-Man. I just love it a lot because it has a lot to offer that I enjoy. Okay, now we're going to move on to Marvel's Spider-Man. And I'd just like to point out that Marvel's Spider-Man isn't as great as I would believe. Now, I'm not saying it's terrible, but I believe it could use some tweaking. Now, the thing about the new Spider-Man is it's more for the younger audience, whereas Ultimate Spider-Man could almost fit enough adults, so to speak. But in the new Spider-Man, it takes a different change according to the story. Like, you already got Peter Parker going to a different school than Midtown, which I'm not going to judge it too hard. It's an alternate universe. But then there's even other stuff like... what was that thing I'm trying to say? I guess they do have more different web slingers. And, I mean, I'm okay with that, but when you just have characters that shoot webs as mainly the core team, it does get kind of boring when it's being repeated. But also, like, I didn't see all the Avengers. I mean, I did see the Hulk and Captain America and Iron Man. And maybe some Thor. But I don't think I saw Ant-Man one episode. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. The thing is, like, not every Marvel superhero that's major appears in the new Spider-Man. Now, what other stuff does a Spider-Man happen to lack? Possibly the lack of enough character development in some way. Like, I mean, we already have a core part of Peter Parker laid out, but then there's just other characters that are just kind of bland in a way. I mean, I just find it a bit hard to like the new Spider-Man compared to Ultimate Spider-Man. Now, since I've already gone through enough of it, I might as well just bring out this one thing. What about this improvement. Like, what can the both series take from each other? I think it's best to start out with possibly adding different characters than just web slingers. Like, Marvel Spider-Man could take some extra characters, like possibly make Kamala Khan a major character instead of like a one-off or so. And of course, Kamala Khan's the new Ms. Marvel. But then what about other youngsters that have powers? I mean, I haven't seen Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider right there. He's young and new. I mean, there's plenty of characters that could go in, but it just never happened. And I guess I can consider myself picky when it comes to shoot, what was his name again? Oh, Flash Thompson being Venom. Well, Agent Venom. In fact, in that episode where the Venom symbiote got out on Marvel Spider-Man, like when it touched Flash, it did strike something, but the thing is, they never really gotten deeper into it. Like, they never made Agent Venom a thing in the new Spider-Man. Whereas the old Spider-Man, they did him justice. They gave him the symbiote and turned him into a decent hero, while also giving Spider-Man less of a rival and more of an ally. Now, I guess the strange part is in Midtown High, it's also like a superhero base of some sort, because Phil Coulson is like the principal there. But then in Marvel Spider-Man, besides the Midtown High, the Avengers are pretty much these office employees that, well, are just not the kind that you want to have. Like, yes, there's crime fighting involved, but come on. Even heroes need a break from time to time. Like raising a family or enjoying some time off, going places. Ultimate Spider-Man did some of that. In fact, there's a Christmas special where enough of the team enjoys Christmas. But then there's other stuff. I mean, to be real, Ultimate Spider-Man has a lot more free time to explore. While Marvel Spider-Man just feels like more of a new age Spider-Man with more technology and all this science talk. I mean, I get it. Science is great and all, but there's gotta be a time when you shouldn't use science in every single episode, because then it's gonna get boring and it's gonna become more of a plain old Spider-Man show that nobody asks for. Oh man, this is just wow. Honestly, guys, I'm gonna hold Ultimate Spider-Man dear to my heart, but I am willing to say this. If there's ever gonna be a new Spider-Man, please don't try copying the same formula. Like, try something a bit new. Maybe get Spider-Man, I don't know. I mean, they could just not make a new Spider-Man, but they can do this. If they ever plan on making a new Avengers, they should at least include Spider-Man as a main character. But that's enough banter. Thanks anyways for watching if you lasted this long or possibly clicked off because you didn't want to hear. Anyways, like and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.